Menstrual equity, it's not a term you may have heard a decade ago, but it's an important term we're hearing more about now, particularly in Newfoundland and Labrador. Today, the government, along with Shoppers Drug Mart, made an announcement that will see 4.7 million menstrual products delivered and made available throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. To talk with us about that and why it's important, Pam Parsons, Minister responsible for Women and Gender Equality. Pam, maybe for people who don't know the term, let's talk about the term first. Just explain to people what menstrual equity is and why it's important.
Well, menstrual equity is exactly that. It's equal access to menstrual products. That it's not a luxury, it's an actual fact of life that women and girls and people who menstruate need these products to function, in society, to go to work, to go to school, to go to their sports, to do anything, that they can go out and about and freely and safely and comfortably continue their lives. And it also comes from the term period poverty. Now, Tim, as we know, and I've certainly been learning about this more since I've been in the role and serving as Minister of Women and Gender Equality, that there is such a thing as period poverty, and there's a large population globally of people who do not have access to these products who need them, and it ultimately keeps them back from participating in society, the workplace, school, organizations, you name it. So today I was delighted to announce, I'm actually home here in my district of Harbour Grace Portagrave at my former high school, actually, Ascension Collegiate. Delighted to announce a partnership between the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador and Shoppers Drug Mart, Inc. And that resulted in the donation of $1.9 million in menstrual products to advance menstrual equity here in our great Newfoundland and Labrador. And as you said, it will be 4.7 million menstrual products distributed throughout the province over the next 3 years.
Yeah, you spoke of it earlier, and I just want to go back to it for a moment. And again, look, I'm a male, so I shouldn't say I have a sister. I understand menstrual equity and the like, but some people may be saying, like, really, is this so important? But there's two things you touched on that I think really speak to the importance of it. One is the equality, so people who maybe are less able to afford products and make other choices as a consequence do, because there are real issues with stigma and embarrassment, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I mean, even, it's only now that we have to, to normalize this topic by talking about it, because it's a fact of life. It's literally a fact of life. It's not a chosen experience per se, or luxury. As I said, these items are necessary and they're needed for people. Everyone who menstruates needs these products in order to continue life as we know it with their activities. And again, it is a bit of an uncomfortable, conversation when I myself have been, say, in a circle, whether it be social or in professional, it tends to be, you can see body language, when this topic is brought up by people who may be uncomfortable. But, it's a fact of life. And I mean, I can remember actually one of the reporters asked me today in the scrum, years ago when I was going to school here, back in not so long ago, I graduated in 98 from Ascension Collegiate.
Yes, I remember, Pam. We demarcated the fact that you're younger than I am. Go ahead.
And I was asked that question, how would you have received this or felt about, if those products had been made available at that time? And I said, it would have been amazing because, and oftentimes if you're in school and you don't have your products and you happen to start your period, it could very well mean that you go home for the day, and I mean, I've had those experiences myself, but like I said, it's great that we're having these conversations. And it's amazing to see, good corporate will step up to the plate because, Tim, as you probably know, our government offered free menstrual products in the K-12 schools in January of 2022. And so the government of Newfoundland and Labrador has been providing these products to our schools across the province. But to see, Shoppers come on board here, and my team in my office, we've been working with Shoppers actually for a few months to get these details ironed out. And I'm happy to say that the snow day, despite being a snow day in school, this announcement went ahead, and we certainly welcome this good news and welcome the support.
Yeah, and I just pick up one other point you made. Yeah, sure, it may be uncomfortable to have this conversation, and you and I and a lot of other people probably wouldn't have had it a decade ago, but we have to have it. It's important, and it makes a difference in people's lives. I think many of us can remember the stories you're alluding to of, the young girl who went home during the day, and the story started to circulate about what happened, and, it would get blown out of proportion, and she was just going through puberty as everybody else was, and going through all the changes that have, but it became such a ridiculous scenario at the time, that we're now in a better place, and announcements like this one from any government are good.